Okay. I guess we're good now. Kevin, yeah, we need to. There you go.
Yep, my bad.
Nah, dude, you're fine. All right, so I guess we can do introductions.
Yep.
All right. What's up, everybody? It's Ryan, aka Bearcat, and I'm running everybody's precious favorite little pyromaniac rat boy, Cretch.
Everybody loves Cretch.
Everybody hates Cretch.
Loves to hate him.
Oh.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin, KO314, and I am running Rollo, everybody's, I don't know, favorite snacky looking Paragon druid.
So everybody's favorite little snack.
Everybody's favorite little snack.
Walked in here looking like a whole meal.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I am Sam, the Lit Hypno Toad. I am currently on the run for my DID, and I will be running Scyzoth Gravescales and Kirioth.
Yo, it's your boy Mason, aka Mace God 911, and I will be playing Akupara Doshi, everybody's favorite tortoise monk, and he really wishes he has a Mojo Dojo Casa house.
Thought you meant Mojo Jojo for a second.
Yeah, right. I was like, damn, same.
Mir.
Oh, my turn? Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello, everyone. This is Meerkat, aka Mama Mir. I will be playing Sezra of the Dawn Pride. Excuse my abysmal eating habits, but I am addicted to ice cream, so.
There are worse things to be addicted to. Hi,
Oh, I know.
my name is Sin Patty, and I'm addicted to moving, I guess. I don't know. I've done it like 5 times. It fucking sucks. Anyway, I am the DM, and we'll go ahead and get into recap. If Bretta, if you could provide me the soundbite that we all need.
Wait a minute. Did they both do their? Everybody did? Okay.
Yes, Mir.
I really missed out on a lot of shit.
It's been busy.
Last time on D&D.
Damn, it's beautiful every time. Last time on D&D, because I was dumb and didn't I think I deleted the recording when I was going through some of the older ones because I suck. But boo, yes. I love
E-Man, Ian Hater Club. E-Man, Ian Hater Club.
I've always wanted to be the center of attention, baby. But anyway, so last time on D&D, we when we left off the previous time, basically the Ant Queen, or the soon-to-be Ant Queen, spoiler alert, reached into y'all's mind and, like, you know, told you guys, hey, what the fuck, man? Crazy shit's going on. Go grab that axe and come back here. Before you guys went back there, you did grab the axe, and it was very small and comical. I think Sezra thought that it was like going to be like pretty good, but it was like toothpick size kind of for her because it was made for ants. It's literally an axe made for ants. Yes, I thought that was like I think that was something somebody said. But anyway, we got to get a little bit of a chest that was left behind. There were plenty of magical items. Everybody got at least one pretty freaking good magical item, I think. I'm pretty sure I told everybody. Shut up. I'm pretty sure, Aku, you can stand on ceilings now. I don't remember what everybody else has because I suck, but...
I named the episode What Magical Items Officer.
What Magical Items Officer? That's perfect. Everybody got some good shit. It was pretty great. And we went on to return the axe to the Ant Queen. This resulted in the Ant Queen, and I think some of her like closer ants, if I'm not mistaken, growing larger, like really big. So she is now being reunited with the axe, no longer just the mother's favorite. She is now the Ant Queen. And well, there's only really one thing left to do, and that's to, you know, murderlate the Rakshasa. With that being said, we went on a little bit of a journey back to the Eastern capital. And I don't think anything interesting happened on the journey, if I'm not mistaken. I think we just kind of got there. Mace, I'm pretty sure before we left off, Aku went to go do his thing with the queen. I'm pretty sure that happened. She like telepath. She like gave you like a telepathic slap on the ass and said later.
Okay.
You know, she knows. She knows what's up.
Oh no.
Aku is just loving this shit. But I think for everybody
Aku
else,
has stories for his master.
dude, Aku and his master reuniting is gonna be dummy.
Oh, I didn't.
Mhm.
His master heard those stories. He didn't need to be told.
It was all for research.
It was all
Y'all don't
research, but
understand.
Research.
Y'all
Oh,
don't
God.
understand.
I don't.
I really
I can
don't.
say that confidently.
No,
I
know.
don't.
But
I
you
don't
know
want to
what?
go into the the details of your intercourse.
But if you do, you might get inspiration.
No.
I'm kidding. You won't.
No, right now Roll is
He
just
breathes in really deep, like, well. No, but with
No.
that, no, don't. With that being said, I'm pretty sure
We're
now
shaming.
we're kind of all caught up. I know, and when it comes to Mirror King shaming, that's like, what the fuck? Agate was a kinky bitch. God. Is a kinky bitch, my bad. She still lives on. But with that being said, so we're back now. You guys, what I basically decided was because we were gone so fucking long, my fault. We essentially took 3 days to kind of prepare for this assault that is going to be oncoming. I've explained some rules already to the players about how the assault will go. And it's going to be a mechanic that returns in the future a lot, so it'll be fun. With that being said, let's roll, everybody roll a d20, and
Oh no.
whoever got the highest, you get to start with what you did on your 3 days.
I got 11.
Okay.
18.
5.
18.
Okay.
Cratch.
Wait, no, didn't Kretch and Aku both roll 18s?
Yep.
Okay, you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
roll
Dang.
off. Let's go.
Look me in the eyes when you do this.
You gotta
8.
look at me.
1.
Oh,
Damn.
damn! The deep
Cratching
look.
all the way in the back.
Kretch was at the front of the line and said, no, and scurried his on ass to the back of the line.
Wait, why do I have to be in the back now?
No, I'm kidding. You're gonna be next.
I don't want to be in the back.
You just like hopped over Aku and you were like, you first. So
I don't want to be the line leader.
So Aku, 3 days, man. Obviously, that night, leading into the morning, you and the queen had some good times. So I guess the question is, did you sleep over? Or did you take the taxi fare back to the cabins with the peasants?
No, I made sure to take the taxi cab back because Aku knows that this is not a permanent thing. This is just a, hey, I happen to be in town, type deal. And
A good time, not a long time.
he
Absolutely.
realizes that he has spent too much time fooling in pleasantries, and he kind of needs to, let's get down to business.
So you were just betting for the night.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
for the night situation.
This was just to release some tension. But anyways, Aku, whenever everybody is asleep, or I guess everybody would kind of leave at the same time to go do whatever.
Yeah.
Aku would find an opportune time to just sneak off while no one is looking, and I'm assuming they have some forest nearby, some woods.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Somewhere.
So
like maybe with a waterfall, perhaps.
yeah, absolutely. So as you like kind of sneak off on your own, at first you're just kind of like walking around, you're looking at the trees, and it's all very peaceful. You feel very calm, it's very serene. It reminds you a lot of home because like this patch of forest kind of extends down to the monastery that you trained at, and as you're walking along, you start to think of thoughts of home and everything, and you hear the trickling. At first it's very slow, and then as you get closer and closer, it sounds like a rushing roar. Before you know it, you've stumbled upon a waterfall that seems to be like the remnants of like an ancient kingdom. There are pieces of like various very nice looking statues, still kind of they're definitely aged by quite a while, but these statues do depict leonins. And underneath the waterfall is a broken is a pedestal that seems to have held some kind of statue but has now been broken. The water rushes down onto it, forming a pretty good meditation spot if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, Aku has a couple plans for that waterfall spot. Number one, he will obviously meditate underneath it, just because one, he's a turtle, feeling a little bit of water on this, dry ass skin, feels good, you know. But the main thing he wants to do is he's gonna stand in front of the waterfall, right in the middle of it, and I'm assuming it's like a kind of wide waterfall,
absolutely.
coming, down like very serene like, but he's gonna have just his hands, and he's gonna get like little stance, kind of squat just a little bit, and you're gonna see him. He's gonna pray for just a split second. He's gonna like take a form and put like his right hand underneath with his left hand kind of aiming, and he's gonna punch the middle of the waterfall. And for y'all to understand, Aku's goal is to try and punch it so hard he splits the waterfall in half.
Okay.
So Aku, roll me a strength real quick. This will be your first day.
17.
17. Any
Plus,
modifier? Yeah, let's give me
plus
your
my
modifier.
strength modifier.
Yeah.
It's the not a save, just the regular.
Just regular.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 3. So 20.
So 20 on that. So Aku, you sit there, you're fucking forming up. You feel after like your first few punches, it's kind of like you're getting into the routine. You're trying to make sure you're hitting like a good spot. Maybe there was like one time where you took a punch, you were like, that felt pretty good. By the end of your first training day, you start to feel like every time you pull back, it's like we'll say for convenience sake, sometimes while oh god, sorry, the name just escaped me. Sometimes while Kretch is like doing like his little artificer things, he'll like kind of talk out loud about what he's doing, because it's the rubber ducky situation with like engineers. They just sit there, they talk to a rubber ducky, because when you can like verbalize it, it helps.
Yeah.
Hello, Layla. Yes, puppy, I'm talking to you. But so like he explained something about like an invention he was building where like you kind of like push back on a spring and then it would fire forward.
Yeah.
Push back, and he was like experimenting with like different things he could put in there and like how big they could be, and using magic to like manipulate size and shit. And like just that action, just that like you're visualizing it with your hand, on the waterfall, pulling back like a spring and just poof, poof. By the end of the first day, you start to feel like a real connection there, a mind muscle connection that you haven't felt with your punches for a very long time, since you were back at your monastery.
Keep in mind he does alternate hands.
Yeah.
After every punch.
So one
to
punch,
make sure he
two
learns
punch.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there's a prayer between each one. He'll reset and stand up, and then go ahead and get back in like that squat.
So he resets,
pray
one hand
for
up.
a second, and then alternate punch, reset, pray.
Do you
alternate
leave
hand,
the knuckles
punch.
on, or are
No,
these
this is
like
No, this is
fist.
barefisted. I
Bare
make sure
knuckle?
to say this
Okay.
is like he took off all the knuckles and stuff. This is barefisted.
Okay. All right. That's day one. Do you camp there, or do you head back, right?
No, I probably camp out there.
Okay.
I
Is
would
this going to be like
definitely-
3 full days of like no sleep training?
Maybe not no sleep. I would definitely do like like a little rest, like
Yeah.
normal sleep.
Yeah. Okay.
But for the most part, I really only break once to eat and scavenge for tea and stuff, and the rest of the time is training.
Okay.
And then I sleep.
All right. So what we'll say is roll me a real quick just survival for this first night.
Yep, gotcha.
We'll see if you didn't tire yourself out or something.
15 plus 5, so 20.
20, and Jesus, man. Yeah, so tonight, like that
Jesus.
mind muscle connection while you were fucking throwing those punches, it's all there. It's clicking for you. It's like everything else right now for you it's like second nature, because you're still just visualizing in your head while you're going through. While you're visualizing all that in your head, it's like the cosmic turtle is just guiding your hand while you're focused on, essentially like the most important thing in your mind, which is of course mastering these punches. This normal punch, we'll call it for now.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you have a better name. And so you gather all your stuff, you make a fantastic fucking tea, you eat some delicious food on your break, and before you know it, the sun rises and you're ready for day 2. Go
Let's
ahead.
go.
Roll me a strength at advantage.
Oof. All right, we're gonna do
Okay.
this combo right here. Alrighty, we got a 12 plus 3, so 15.
Okay, so a 15. So with a 15 today, while you're doing your punches, you're
Mhm.
feeling the spring connection really, really strongly in your right arm. Like it starts to, as you punch, it's like the line is going up farther and farther each time
Yeah.
you're punching it. For your left hand, it just the connection's there. It's still there, but it feels weaker. It's like it'll spike up really high one time and then it won't spike as high the next. It's not consistent like your right hand. Maybe we'll say like halfway through the day to like even yourself out because it feels like the right hand's really good. Like you don't just like completely ignore it, but maybe you do 2 left, 1 right, 2 left, 1 right. By the end of the day, they kind of are hitting just about equal. Like right's here, left's like here. So like they're almost there. You've kind of balanced yourself out. We'll say with the 20 survival last time, you have enough supplies to break again, still have some tea, and be good for that the final day of training.
Perfect.
All right. So final day, we'll say because the roll was, we'll say because the mind muscle connection is still there, and you still have a good amount of tea. You've refocused. You've come back. Roll me at advantage one last time.
All right. These guys this time. I've been alternating dice. It's been treating me good so far.
I bet.
Ooh.
15 plus 3, so that's 18.
So 18. All right, Aku. The final day. You, while you took your short, your short or long rest, whatever it was, your rest last night, you felt the cosmic turtle just like kind of grab you in his big flippers,
Yes.
bring you up, and hold you close.
Big whale, little whale.
Big whale, little whale.
Big whale, little whale.
In your
Oh,
dream,
no.
he opens his hand to reveal you, small, tiny, insignificant little baby turtle in his palm, and he breathes on you, covers his hand, puts it back down. You wake up, you feel so ready for this. You know this is it. You walk up, your hands connect, you feel an electricity in your palms, and you boom! It splits all the way up. The force of the punch cracks the wall in the back a little bit.
Good stuff.
You come together again. Left hand, boom! Same fucking thing. All the way up. Even splits. Pretty fucking solid 3 days. We will.
Now, what if I do both at the same time? I'm joking.
You literally destroy the entirety of the ruins around you. GG. Sezra will never know about her past.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Oh, shit.
I kid, but that's the end of your 3rd training day. You feel very successful. You still have a good amount of time to like walk back to the camp, and do what you want. But we'll kind of cut back to that after we go with Kretch. Kretch, 3 days. All right.
Yay.
Aku went off to do something at night. You guys all throughout the camp heard like in your heads little bits of ooh, just randomly. It just didn't. You weren't sure what it was, but it was just like a random telepathic connection, just flopping out real fast. Somebody couldn't control themselves. GG Aku. But with that, Kretch, what have you been up to, man?
So Kretch has been tinkering away with helping Rollo out with combining his, what is it? It's your healing staff.
Yeah, the healing staff he got as a reward, and his sickle that he
And
was
his
using.
sickle.
His mini
And
sickle.
combining these into a bigger like scythe and essentially like reforging, and he's finally getting to take some time out to do some artificer stuff.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
And so he's going to be taking his time working on that and taking a few days. And the thing is that he's not just combining these two into one weapon. He's also going to be using his, oh god, what is it? It's hang on. Features and traits, artificer. Oh my god, infusion. That's what it's called. His infusion to give it a +2.
Ooh, okay, babe. Okay. All right.
So whatever it did have will now have +2.
Wow. Okay, so what we'll say is roll me an Arcana.
An Arcana?
Or do you think maybe Intelligence? Let's do
Arcana's fine.
Arcana or Intelligence. I'll do Arcana or Intelligence.
It's all gonna be the same.
Okay.
15.
15. All right. So those with your
That's not
bonus,
bad.
right?
Huh?
Those with your bonus, right?
Right.
So with 15, the first day, you're really excited because, oh my god, Artificer, yay! Haven't been an Artificer in a while. You see it there, and like your first day, you spend a good portion of it while Rollo's kind of sitting there patiently. Well, actually, how long do you want this to take? Do you want this to be your full 3 days?
I was gonna say it'd probably be like a good couple of days. I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
was hoping that this could also
You can, yeah.
sparks a flash of inspiration for him, especially to prepare for this upcoming battle, because
Yep.
there's something that he should be doing that he has not been doing.
Yeah, sure.
Also, real quick, well, just consider he has guidance on all this too, because Rollo's helping out as
Yeah,
best
no,
he can.
absolutely. What's your guidance? Is that +4?
It's I
He
think
has to
you
roll
can
a
roll it
D4.
Okay, Ryan, roll
Yeah.
a d4. You had a 15.
and add it to your rolls.
Yeah, roll,
Yeah.
well, because Rollo's gonna sit there and just, ooh, you better get it right.
You're doing such a good job, little buddy.
He's back there with like a
So good.
cheerleader, like
Yeah,
With
yeah.
a 4.
A
Yeah,
4?
yeah.
So
Woo!
19 total.
19
Hey.
total. All right. So for the first half of the day, Kretch, while you're looking at it, you're visualizing not only this weapon, but like the 30 other schematics in your head that you just haven't had time to like look at. One of those being this idea, you're gonna take that spring idea that we talked about with Aku. You're just gonna dump the spring because that's not enough force. But you could also use like some kind of like explosive powder or some shit, and that would probably send it.
Okay.
And so, like in your head while you're like kind of tinkering with Rollo's staff, you're like kind of getting shit together. You kind of think, well, whatever it's gonna sit in, like this is gonna have to be something like super heavy duty. It's like as you're trying to get the staff, you're, oh shit, sorry. The guidance comes in. It helps you not only visualize keeping that like the way that you're gonna put the staff together, not only like on the outside and obviously like the mechanical pieces, but also the artful little interior magic pieces that nobody ever fucking talks about for some reason, but like there's a reason why it's magic, okay? And you gotta like manipulate that shit, and it's not easy. People think it's just, oh, poof, magic. No, fuck that. You gotta like weld that shit in every fucking little hammer swing. It sucks. So while you're doing that, you have a good schematic for Rollo's we'll call it a scythe. And then also in your head you kind of figure that whatever the casing is, or the thing that's going to hold all of this explosive powder, either A, it's going to have to be like refilled every fucking time you want to use it, and you're going to have something really really like big and like just stuck somewhere to make it work, or B, you're going to have to like make it smaller. It's up to you basically which way you want to go. If you want to make the in your head, because you haven't like made anything yet, obviously. Do you want to make a smaller like kind of casing, or do you want to do a big like drum to hold this powder, the explosive powder that you're going to use?
Bigger.
Better.
Bigger.
Okay.
Bigger.
All right. So you finish in the first half of the day, you kind of like at one point, like once you kind of you make a good connection, like the physical connection is there for the scythe. You kind of put it down, you look at Rollo and you go, okay, don't touch. I'll be right back. And you like get off your little
Gretchen
chair.
goes to the desert of Sol Lamamos.
What the fuck?
All I can think is this is Rattenheimer.
I literally was gonna say this is
Well,
Kretchenheimer.
Kretchenheimer, yes.
This is Kretchenheimer.
Gotta go to the desert, and he's got to test some stuff.
For 40 days and 40 nights, he was tempted.
And for 40 days and
And
40
he
nights,
failed
he accepted it every fucking
time.
time.
He jumped straight in that flaming bush.
He said,
"Fuck
"Hey,
yeah,
yo!"
fucker." My bad. Go ahead.
No, that was fucking gold. Inspiration for that. Inspiration.
Thank you. I need it.
Absolutely. Everybody will hopefully have inspiration at the end of this. Oh, Aku, you also got inspiration, by the way. Sorry. I had to mention that. That was the turtle kiss. Mwah. Putting it down there. That was the inspiration. That was me, your turtle, giving you a little smoochy, putting you down. Have fun, kids. So anyway, back to Kretch. Kretch, you go into there's not really a desert, but like there's like a part of the forest that's already been burned over a good bit, probably from something you did at some point, but whatever. It's not like it matters. And in that burnt part of the forest, you start to get to work. At first, you think that maybe just taking like a hollow log that's like really big and like trying to magically reinforce it, maybe that'll work. Fields of Sol Samala. That's it. The Fields of Sol Samala. There it is. That's where you go. And in the Fields of Sol Samala, you make this big casing that's like made of wood. It's been magically reinforced with like some fire resistance and like force resistance stuff because you think that'll probably be enough. You put a good amount of blasting powder in there. You put like a few rocks you find in there. You stand pretty far back and you set it alight. And it goes. Everything explodes. So it's like, okay, you go and you look, and it's like the pieces, the individual like pieces that were magically reinforced, like they survived. They just didn't survive intact together. Also, the rocks went flying everywhere. It was a pretty big explosion. You were like, nice.
Does he have eyebrows, DM?
Go ahead and roll me evens odds. We'll see if you still have eyebrows.
Odd.
No. Kretch comes back the first day.
He's a rat! What is he just missing strips right here?
Yes, only right there. Everywhere else is fine. It's just right here. Kretch, you walk. You go back to wherever you're working. You're tinkering on the scythe. Are you gonna work through the night, or are you gonna take like a short like rest or whatever, and then get back at it?
Oh, we're working through the night. We're all jacked up on Mountain Dew, buddy.
Kretch, you walk into the cantina, and they have this little itty bitty green drink, and you're like, yeah, okay. You sip it, and you realize this is literally Mountain Dew. Fuck yeah. Like canonically Pepsi product, trademark. It's Baja Blast because that's the best.
Yay!
You take your
so
Baja Blast.
enthusiastic.
I know. You take your Baja Blast back to your little lab. Rollo, I mean, depends on what you want to do. I mean, did you follow him out or?
It's blasting time.
Yeah, he followed him around. Why not? Just kind of keep an eye on him, make sure.
So Rollo is just walking around with like the pieces, like the full thing, like it's together. It's just not magical, and you feel like the magic is like separated. But you're like kind of walking around or whatever with it, and you're just like, well, what are you doing? And then you see a big old explosion. You're like, you have become Death, Destroyer of Worlds.
Can I get that in Kretch's voice, please? Just one time.
Go ahead, Kretch. Hit us with it.
I have become Death, Destroyer of Worlds.
Perfect.
Why is that menacing?
I know, right? Like that's actually scary as fuck. Imagine
him
being
coming to the
like,
realization of all his power. He's like, I am become Death, Destroyer of Worlds.
That's it. That's Kretch right there.
I was about to say that was too calm. Like...
Yeah, no, that was Kretch right
He
there.
had found his
The
purpose.
first one he was possessed. The second one was him.
Yeah, the second one was natural.
The first one was the realization.
It was him muttering it to himself the first
time,
like thinking it out, and then
yeah.
Then the nuclear bomb moment.
Yeah.
Well, wait, goddamn idiot.
Yeah. So Kretch, you you take your break or whatever, you get your Mountain Dew, and you head back at it. You take Rollo's staff back, and you start to make the magical connections again. Go ahead and roll me intelligence or Arcana at advantage.
Ooh, advantage. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
16.
16. Okay. So with a 16, you before like dawn, you've gotten the magical connections together. Rollo, when you next pick up the healing scythe, it feels not only like the entire thing is like humming with magic from top to bottom, it also feels stronger because Kretch put that +2 on it. So your shit's good. You're free to keep following him if you want, or we can spin off from there when it's your turn.
He'll keep following him a little bit. He's
All right.
thankful.
So-
Ask him if he needed any help with anything.
Do you need any help with anything, Cratch?
I could use live test subjects.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I can speak with animals.
Okay, cool.
So-
Can you tell him to stand near that thing
I
for
guess
science?
their sacrifice will not be in vain, yeah.
Who said anything? Whoa, who said anything about sacrifice?
Because we all know you, Critch, and I saw what happened yesterday.
Am I near this by any chance, Ian?
Roll me evens odds.
Just to see.
Just
a
to
5.
see.
He's like,
A
I
five?
heard your little
Odd.
power trip.
You are actually like within earshot.
I'm still what we talked about earlier, right?
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
Mammal. Creepy mammal. You.
Eh?
I'm shaking.
Yeah.
You
There's
wanted
so many
you didn't.
mammals around.
Yeah, I know. I'm shaking him. He doesn't know his name, and he shakes him. You need something to destroy?
I mean, I'm testing.
I need to test something. Let's go.
Oh, shit. Okay. So
Take him out to an empty field, and if there's any dead body, I want to animate it.
okay.
And just let him destroy it. Go kill it. I want to see. It works. Good. All right, kill it.
So basically, yeah, you guys go out to like the testing field. The hold on, I got to read that name again. The fields of Sol Samala. And you guys, there's like a couple like dead animals and shit. And we'll say like a dead like Richet knight or whatever. You raise them all effortlessly. Pretty sure of yourself.
All right, have fun with him. And he just walks off.
And there goes our boy. There goes my hero. So he walks off. You're left with these zombified fucking test subjects. Oh, look at that pancake.
Oh, showing
With the
toe
toe
beans
beans for free.
beans.
For free.
Nah, girl, you gotta go set up your feet finder. What are you doing?
She dropping that bag is what she's doing. How's she gonna pay rent, bro?
Yeah.
Damn, you did it for free, girl. They got that shit screen capped. Oh no.
Copyright that. Copyright that shit.
Look at those little black beans.
Look at those little
These
black beans.
beans.
She got
Little black beans.
Oh. Look at that princess fucking. God, the cat. Oh, she's so cute. Fuck, I love pancake. So
The baby.
Wretch,
The baby.
how do you want to change your construction this time?
So last time it blew up and the parts that I had reinforced magically survived. They just weren't together.
Yeah.
What am I trying to make here? I'm not it's just a log. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding. I made a log that had powder in it and rocks and shit on the top, and it blew up and sent the rocks flying.
You're kind of like making like the base of like a cannon or something, like a siege thing.
So definitely want to like reinforce then like around the log, maybe even find if there's some stronger material than wood.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of like kicked up stone and stuff, like large chunks that you can use to manipulate to do what you need to. There are like metal pieces back at the Richet camp that are just kind of laying there almost unaccounted for. It seems like they're doing their own thing in terms of preparations, and it doesn't seem to involve like they almost look like they're like scrap weapons or like rusted stuff. Like you could take it and repurpose it, and make it your own.
So what I want to do then is when I went back to camp or whatever, like overnight, is collect all the scrap that I could, and then actually wrap because I have heat metal, so then use heat metal to wrap it around. So like have bands of metal around the wooden log.
Okay, cool. We'll say that like while you're heating the metal, you get a familiar kind of singe. It feels very reminiscent to when you had your moment of the great flame. Remember down in the
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, I know you do.
Every night I remember.
Exactly. That's why I haven't mentioned any dream shit, because I know it's the same thing every time. It's you stepping in and not stepping out.
What could have been.
What could have been.
Look at
I-
it. It's his Super Saiyan moment.
It literally is his Super Saiyan moment. But so you heat the metal around it. You get you use the same enchantments, the force, the fire resist, all that stuff. And you set it in this time kind of at an angle to make sure that like whatever shrapnel shit you send in there might actually like make it to where you want it to go. Stand back, you cover your eyebrows or what was singed off, snap it, fire, and it looks like it makes contact really fucking well. You put in a lot of powder because it's your first time. You got plenty of it. Fuck it, might as well. It's fun. You can always make more. It's not like you care. And the amount of powder sent the pieces out with such force that like they like over penetrated severely some of the targets. The Richet, like the little like mini rocks and shit that you would put in, they pierced it like through the fucking skull, like through the heart, like just all over its poor little ant piece body. It's still kind of reanimated, so it's like sitting there a little bit. Like there wasn't like a big piece to take it out, so it's just kind of sitting there, wobbling like a character select animation. Everything else so that was like taken back, like the fucking bird, you notice that it's got like its two little feet still there. But like the rest of the body got blown off, and you just see a giant rock piece that like slammed into a tree and like dug in there. It's looking pretty good. It's looking like the only thing it's missing is you either setting up multiple or setting up some way to transport this shit. Because right now you're thinking it's probably pretty heavy. Oh, and it's also still intact too.
Yay!
So yeah.
Conflict breeds innovation. Yay! Put wheels on that bitch.
That'll definitely be the next time. So, do you go to sleep or you like go back to camp, gather more materials, and head
I'm
back out?
fucking pumped right now. Are you kidding me? I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Baja Blast!
You
And
go-
we're Baja Blasting, baby!
Baja Blast!
So you go back, you grab two things of Baja Blast. They go, the Richard there goes, usually it's just one. Okay, all right, have fun, buddy. What the fuck is wrong with that guy?
He's jittering more than
He's like
Crutch's vibrating actively.
like you guys like walk up and like you just see him like like he's not walking anymore. He's just like vibrating like through air, like with his staff.
One of those like little like bugs that just vibrated and moved. That's great.
It looks like he has like his legs out and like the staff up, like he's actively moving, but like the legs never move. It's like your fucking frame rate is the same speed as him.
When you needed to reach in the cannon, he just went through it.
He fucking phased through it. Yeah, he flashed it. Yeah. Oh my god. You come back to the camp. You're ready to go. You fucking throw wheels on that bitch. You throw some extra like heavy like rocks to like kind of hold it down. That you can kind of also like with a good bit of effort like kind of push off a couple of them to maybe like make the cannon aim a little bit better. Do you want to put more powder in or same powder, less powder? What are you thinking?
More powder.
Okay. So you take your big bag of powder and you go, all right, and just fucking upturn that shit. It goes all the way in. Fills it up to like we'll say 3/4 full. A lot of powder. And yeah, you load the rest with rocks and metal shrapnel and shit. You make like you take like a head of a spear, you like tie it to a rock, you throw it in there as like a middle piece. You kind of actually, let me ask you, do you want to keep going with the grape shot route, or are you looking for something a little bit more sizable, penetrative?
I'm thinking we've been trying. Clearly the whole like scattering a bunch of little projectiles is working pretty well. Those are getting up and moving. I don't want to see if I can, shoot something bigger. That's why I'm loading it up more.
So you find a big like chunk of rock. It has like a point on it, and yes.
Can he lift it?
I don't know.
That's a problem for the Richard to worry about.
That's a problem for the one
Hey,
like
I got a whole
No.
12 strength. Okay.
damn.
No, really?
How is Crutch stronger than both of my characters?
Yeah, right. What the fuck?
No. He works out apparently.
Kretch curls with
Not
his
allowed to do
It's the thighs.
It's all thighs.
It's
It's his
his
massive meaty
meaty thighs,
thighs.
His massive meaty
Kretch
thighs.
fucking like the strongman lift. He fucking
Atlas stone.
yeah the Atlas
just
stone.
wraps
the Atlas
around.
He does the
Wraps
double
around,
fucking
and then
grip. And
Oh my god.
And
he
models
lifts,
on over.
he lifts it because I love him. I just love Kretch so much. He drops it in there. Fucking I gotta do a competition for that. Walks
Strong
back.
rat.
The strong rat.
Strong rat competition is born.
The strong
Chris
rat
for
competition.
for the next day starts calling people laddie.
Cannon.
Hey, laddie.
So there's like a big piece of like a it's a pretty old structure that looks abandoned. Nobody's been in it. It looks like it's ripe for some destruction. If you want to shoot there, or you can shoot off into the.
Get it.
So you aim your cannon. Let's roll Arcana at advantage real quick.
Yeah, we'll take a 24.
Oh fuck yeah, we'll take a 24. We'll take a 24. So with a 24,
I'll do it.
you set the cannon just right. You infuse a little bit more magic on all the pieces just to make sure that there's plenty of that force and that fire resist, because this is going to be fucking heavy. You put out a little bit more powder than usual. You kind of step way fucking far back because you're not entirely sure if it's going to explode or not. This is the most powder you've used. You brace, cover, snap, boom! It fires with such force that it hits the wall. You hear a crunch, and it keeps going. And it hits the second wall, and you hear a crunch, and it goes through that one. It hits the third wall before it starts to slow down. And by the fourth wall, it does hit it, but the wall still crumbles after a little bit. Not only have you uncovered a ancient ruin, you put a pretty fucking sizable, nice hole in it.
What's in the ruin?
Roll me an investigation.
Oh Jesus! Oh God! Oh jeez! Oh heck!
Oh jeez.
Oh jeez, Rick.
For
Oh,
this,
jeez,
I'm
Rick.
also gonna use.
Oh jeez, Rollo.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez, Rollo.
I mean, everybody
You can
heard
do
that
it.
boom. Everybody
Yeah,
heard that
no.
boom.
Shut up,
So-
Crutchy.
Hold on.
I'm gonna use Flash of Genius to give me a +5 to this roll.
Okay.
You said it's what is it? Perception?
Investigation.
Investigation. Oh,
Yeah, he needs it.
okay. Well, that's 19 plus 5, so 24.
Okay, so another 24.
What were we holding, by the way, Mir?
Oh, I was reading to see if I could actually give him some help on it.
Ah, okay.
We're good. Got that one handled.
Yeah, they roll.
Yeah.
So
Rollo was getting ready for
You
some
got it.
guidance.
I
But
was about to say, yeah. So Rollo, you're ready to give him some
Fine.
guidance, but Kretch, the second you take a step in, you remember back to when you were up at Skitterscatter and you read some ruins, or I think it was like a hieroglyph or something of the ancient city of Lithonia. As you kind of carve through, you look through, and you start to see more and more evidence that fucking Leonin lived here a long time ago. You open up a book, it's written in Leonin, you kind of toss it to the side, Again, everybody heard this, Sezra. This is on the third day, so.
This is on the third day.
It's on the third day. Don't worry. I have so much set up for you right now, you have no fucking idea, dude. I'm so excited. You're not ready. You're not ready. Anyway, back to you,
Hold
Kretch.
on. Wait. Before we get into this.
Let's go. Let's go. There you go. Bottoms up. There we go. Nice. Good shit. All right, now she's ready for some lore. So Kretch, as you're going through, you see these big tapestries that
Another one of those.
they're pretty good.
They are.
But it's a big tapestry of what looks to be like a single giant female, Leonin, that is fighting off waves and hordes of fucking demons. Basically like Doomslayer, but way bigger.
Fucking
But Doomslayer with a fucking tail, but with a shield instead of a fucking shotgun. But does have a sword.
Leo Slayer.
Giant flaming sword.
It's flaming. It's flaming for sure.
Flaming.
One motif that you it's flaming, girl. One motif you constantly see is what looks to be the sun behind this being. It's like in all of these paintings, tapestries, anything related to whatever the hell, this Leonidas was, everything about the sun. She is incredibly like storied and stuff. And as you're moving through, you get to like one of like the last little bits of the ruin, and you see a tapestry that shows what looks to it's been ripped on one side, looks to be purposely ripped, but it looks to show like the Leonin, what looks to be like dead on a pedestal. There is another hand that looks to be human with a sword outstretched, but the sword is facing like she's holding onto the hand is holding onto the blade of the sword.
Oh.
Not the hilt.
Mm-hmm. That seems on par with Leonin. They don't seem to know which way to hold.
So
I'm sorry,
that was too good. But Kretch, yeah, that's what you see. We can say that you kind of start to. Well, I don't know. What do you do? What do you do with the information?
Well, I mean, Sezra was there with me, right?
We
Sezra
will
heard
actually.
that shit.
We'll see what happens.
Oh,
Who's next?
okay.
I had a 7.
I got a 5. I'm last.
Okay. All right. So Sezra, what are you doing for the first like 2.5 days?
All right, so Sezra was kind of keeping check on these guys, and also she's watching the two squabble about how to build this, and she kind of interjects. She's like, do you guys need like anything at all? Like any kind of materials or tools? I can go and see if I can get some from the shops right down in the encampment, or
Now, who are you talking to? Us?
no, I'm talking to Rollo and Crutch.
Mm.
Oh, she also checks in with you, but like later.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Just let me know when.
You got more test subjects?
Are you
This
talking
is
to
the
me?
first 2 days. This is the first. This is actually like in the first day or so.
So we'll say this is day 1. Yeah, we're on day 1 right now.
We're on
Come
day
back
1.
to me. Come back to me in a bit, Critch. When it
Okay.
comes to my part, I can definitely help you out again. There's a reason I did that.
Oh,
Critch,
yeah.
and I'll get to it.
So, like, Cratch,
Very good
is
reason.
there like anything you need? Do you need food? Do you need materials?
Baja Blast.
What the fuck is
Baja Blast.
They call it Bajaha here in the Richard Empire.
Okay. What about you, Rollo? And while she says that to Rollo, her eyes kind of dilate a little bit because she's like, food. Thinking,
Boy looking like a snack.
Thinking you
Little
need
bit.
some salt and pepper on you.
Nah, she's thinking sauces. She's
Like a honey
lemon
Dijon.
pepper.
Ooh, lemon pepper.
Well, I'm in danger.
And you see your eyes dilate, and then she shakes her head, and she's like, "Anyways, do you like need anything?
No, pretty good.
Like some lemons?" No.
Right over here.
All right.
All right, yeah, I'll go find this Baja Blast, whatever that is. Okay. So she goes to like the commissary, I guess.
Yeah, we can call it commissary. Yeah, sure.
Cool. So she goes over there and she's like, "Excuse me.
Yes.
My friend there is looking for like some Baja Blast. Whatever that is. Do you know what that is?"
I haven't heard of Baja Blast, but we do have some Baja. You want some Baja?
I mean, I guess that could work with that. Where is it?
The Baja?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's just 3 copper pieces.
3. Why are you charging? Isn't this like a mess hall for your soldiers?
The Baja Blast, or I'm sorry, the Baja is a premium item that is not normally for sale and has been wished into this world by a certain being that must be paid. The Pepsi Corporation must be paid.
How about this? I pay you 1 copper.
It's 3 copper or no deal.
Okay, so you know who it's for?
No, who's it for? The Pepsi Corporation?
No, the
If
little
it's not for
rat
the Pepsi
bandit.
Corporation, ma'am, then I can't.
Let me
Is he
speak.
an employee of the Pepsi
Let
Corporation?
me speak. No, he's the pyromaniac that's been setting off shit like the last few days.
Oh, that little boy. Kretch is the member of the Pepsi Corporation, silly. That's what he told me. He had his little ID and everything. It's only 1 copper.
Okay, yeah, here, take. She hands him.
And tell Kretch it's on the house for him. That's just for you. And he pockets it.
Cretch got buddy with the Pepsi Corporation.
So she grabs it delicately, and then through
20
clenched
cannons of people
teeth,
get
she's
through the
like, "Thank
What'd you
you."
say?
Any fan of
And
Kretch
she-
is a friend of the Pepsi Corporation. Trademark.
Okay. She walks off, and she's like, "What the fuck is a Pepsi Corporation? Is it the same like Coke?" And she walks away.
Coke is on the fucking Leonin Islands.
Yeah,
It's
that's definitely
what
some
they
Leon
drink.
shit.
It's Coke.
It's on the plains. They drink Coke like down here.
They have this weird lemon lime drink that if you drink it at a certain location, it tastes like nectar from the gods.
But only that certain location.
Only that certain location.
The legendary double arches.
The legendary golden arch.
So she walks
Forged in
over
the fires
there,
of the gods.
and she looks at. Let's see. During the first day, what you were working on the? This was about the same
This
time
was
as the first explosion, right? Or is this
The first explosion happened, like, we'll say, like, the first half of the day is, like, when you asked. Kretch kind of finishes what he's doing, and he gets up and walks out because he's got his spark of genius. You, like, go back to the shack, and you're like, where the fuck? And then you hear the explosion, you go,
Okay, so she goes in there, she's like, okay, where did he go? Boom. So she hears the boom, she sets the drinks down, and she's like, okay, I guess we're gonna have to go clean that up. And she walks out to where she pinpoints the first explosion. Things are on fire a little bit because, you can't have explosion without fire. And she goes and calmly finds a water bucket and starts pouring methodically.
while you're doing
Pouring
that,
water on
Kretch
that.
has the most serious, pensive look on his face. It's like he hasn't even realized that the hair literally just above his eyes and nowhere else is burned off. And he just sits there just pensively thinking about how it all went wrong.
So she goes and she puts her fingers up and starts snapping in front of his fingers. And apparently he doesn't even see her do that. So she's like, okay, whatever the fuck. And
Actually, hold on. He smells the Baja Blast on your fingers and for a second, like, looks up and then goes back to it.
Yeah.
Goes back to them.
Because he doesn't see it in my hands.
Exactly.
He
It
does
was
the
like-
rat
it was
thing where their
Stacking his
nose like
little fingertips
Yeah.
together.
he does the rat thing, like he keeps doing the finger, but his nose does a little like like it moves
And
with it real
so
quick.
she just basically is just like, okay, I'm done with your shit. And puts out the rest of the fire so the entire forest doesn't burn down and lets anybody else know our location. Great thinking, by the way. And then during that also time, she goes and looks around for something to eat. She meditates with her 2 axes now because she's just like,
He's dual wielding
I'm
that
gonna.
shit.
Yeah, she's dual wielding, and she's gonna go and up her workout regime
Hell yeah.
so that she can be able to do that easily.
All right.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay. So what we'll say is go ahead and roll me a strength at advantage for your because you have like dummy strength, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay. Oh shit. Nope. That don't count. It fell on the floor.
True. Unless it was a 20.
No. It was okay. So 15.
15. All right. That was with your
That
modifiers?
was my modifier. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, hold up.
Think damn sure.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's with my
Modifier too? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
This
the
is my modifier.
15, you start out with the new axe that you got, and you're kind of swinging around. You're getting a feel for it in one arm, and you get a really good feel for it in one arm, and you're like, okay, well, let me try it out in the other. When you swap to your left hand, for whatever reason, it feels like it forms a really strong connection in that left hand. Like it feels right. Pick up the other hand with the right hand. With the right axe, and then you start kind of just doing like random kind of chopping exercises to like loosen up your shoulders, get used to the idea of using both axes. What you do start to do is kind of cut down like some like trees with like both of them like at the same time using the same motion. And like taking those trees and setting them up almost to act as like dummies. And so like you'll do like, you know, right motions for one, left motions for the other, cross motions or whatever, to just kind of like get used to like doing that kind of shit. And there's no better way to use an axe than to chop some fucking wood, right?
You know, those skulls, but yeah.
And skulls and body parts and spines, they work really well too, but you don't...
Really just a good old-fashioned butchering.
Just anything, really. Just anything with meat on the bones, like that's like the perfect meat and bones, that's...
And then she gets a little hungry again. She starts thinking about meat and bones and sauces, and she's like, oh, yeah.
And while you're chopping down, you chop down one tree, and falls a bird that just kind of falls and breaks its little back, and it's just sitting there with his arms. Can't do anything. There's some meat for you.
Oh, man, I am going to eat you up.
I thought I saw a putty tat. I did.
You definitely did see a putty tat, and I'm sorry for breaking your back. But here, let me put you out your misery, and you can feed me and you know, circle of life and all that shit.
You munch down. It fills you up pretty well. You feel a little like tingling in the back of your mind, like, that was a little mean. Not really. Fuck that bitch, and you move on. You feel
Circle of life, my dude.
Circle of life for sure. So you set up a good like kind of like circle kind of staging ground basically for you to just kind of go apeshit with your axes. And we'll say that, well, actually, let me ask, do you want to work through the night, or are you gonna...
No, she's going to work through until like she can see in the night, but she's like, this is a good stopping point so we can sleep and make sure nobody gets fucking destroyed the next day.
And so you fucking like come in, you chop across like two axes or whatever, you cut, or two logs, you cut clean through them, you go, good shit. Back, double axes in the back, looking badass like a motherfucker. And you walk back to camp. You see Kretch holding his cup of Baja Blast, shaking just violently. Not quite, you know, doing the thing where he's glitching out and moving at the same frame rate as reality, but close,
She's gonna go up to both Rollo and do we see Scyzoth at this point this evening?
I think it was the morning.
Well,
At
when
the
he's
second day, I would have started what I'm about to do when I explain it. The first day was one thing, so I'm in camp the second day in the beginning.
Yeah.
So what I did with Crutch was real quick. He wanted to do. I'll explain it when we get there. But yeah, I'll be in the beginning of the day.
We'll say that for that first night you see Kretch, you're not staying up the whole night. Sezra, so when you go to bed, the second your head hits the pillow, you are out. Like, it was a lot more work than you thought to use those two axes. Like your body feels, it's like a good sore. Like after a fucking solid workout where you feel like you kicked ass, like that's how you're feeling. You lay on the bed, head hits the pillow, you go to sleep. This is not a dreamless sleep though. This is a very intense dream sleep. You wake up and it feels like, for whatever reason, that you are like inhabiting the body of someone else. You look down and you see paws that mirror your own, but are like gigantic. You feel on your back there's a sword, not an axe hilt. And you're not really in control. You're just kind of visualizing almost.
Oh god, I hate those kinds of dreams. But okay, yeah, let's go on.
Yeah, exactly. So you are, as you're like walking through this, you know, dream sequence, it looks like it's some kind of battle going on. There's a ton of fighting. You hear screams, cries of what can only be sound like fucking monsters. And you know, you hear even like human and elvish yelling that sounds aggressive, but you look to the left and you see that there is like a half elf standing beside you issuing orders to other people. Draws the
I draw the sword.
You draw your sword. You feel the flames before you see them, and you see the light illuminating, but you pull it and it's a giant flaming blade. Words that are not your own shout charge, and before you know it, you are pouncing onto forms that look very creepy. You can't really describe what they are. It's not something that you yourself like recognize. But, like the first one you jump on, you pounce and you take your claws and like smash its fucking skull in the ground. You cut like a couple in half in front of you. You throw the fucking carcass of whatever it was like at its friends and then stab through it to follow through. You are a rush of blood, guts, and fire. And before you know it, you see this large, towering figure. You look to your left, you see that same elf that was beside you, also covered in blood and guts, holding like a sword that's shrouded in ice. And before you know it, you wake up.
Oh god, that was intense.
You were sweating in your bed, yes.
I need a sauna. I am a sauna. Oh god, do I need a bath?
So Sezra, you feel a little gross. You feel a little not good. But you
I don't
do.
even want to clean myself right now. Oh my god.
Oh shit. But you still decide to go out. It seems everybody's kind of busy amongst their day. While you're, walking up to check on the boys, you still just in the back of your mind, you feel the heat of that sword and just the fury behind every single one of those blows just permeates your muscles. Like, you just feel like, oh, I'm ready.
And she starts like kind of rubbing at her arms and a little bit at her legs, so just kind of like try and shake it a little bit. And she also kind of tries to scratch at her back a little bit, trying to get some of that heat off of it. And she's like, I don't know what's wrong with me today. Oh my god.
You're fucking yeah. So we walk up, and then it's that interaction where Rollo and Kretch are there, and they're talking. You walk up and you go, "Hey, you need any help?" Scyzoth, or I guess you could, yeah. Scyzoth comes in, or I'm sorry, not well. We'll call it Scyzoth for now.
Okay.
What seems to be Scyzoth.
What appears to inhabit the corporeal being known as Scyzoth, walks up to you, goes, "Hey, yo, you need help? I got you."
That's why none of us were. He was yelling mammal, and we had no idea.
Exactly.
Which one
That was all three of you just sat there going,
What?
Which one?
like,
Yes. There's a reason why he was being more of an asshole than usual.
I
so
mean,
excited.
did we even really notice the difference of assholishness?
That's up to y'all.
That's up to y'all
don't know.
entirely, yeah.
That's up to y'all. I don't.
I mean, because what did he call him? He said he's like nasty mammal.
Disturbing mammal.
Disturbing mammal.
At that point, Rollo figured he was probably talking to Kretch.
Most likely, you will each have your own monikers eventually bestowed upon you.
But it was also can we roll for that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
He's not hiding anything. He's just he's being a prick.
I got a 16.
Okay.
So
do I need to
Rollo,
roll anything? Like you want? I mean,
if you're not trying to deceive, then no.
nah. I mean, this probably isn't Scyzoth right now.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Scyzoth's not home. Scyzoth's not home. Kirioth's here.
I don't think Rollo actually knows anything about this at all.
I don't know if he. Yeah, does Rollo?
He
Well,
was
there was
never
that-
explained. So he
No, so yeah, so for Rollo, you're just like, he's being really fucking mean.
yeah.
More than
He's
you.
like, he's also probably like, didn't Scyzoth know
Yeah, like,
Kretch's
couldn't you
name?
just
Yeah.
call him Kretch?
Kretch? Like,
As long as
something
you've
ain't right
known
here.
Scyzoth, he mostly calls you by your names.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
jerk, but he doesn't just call you your species.
Yeah. So Sezra, with that being said, you wanted to talk with him, right?
Yeah, no, she's gonna after the interaction where she sees him raise the corpses up. She's like, "Oh, hey,
Perfect. And so he's
Okay.
walking off.
yeah, no, I kind of need some to practice on. How many can you like bring up?"
Are you speaking to me?
Yes, Scyzoth, I'm speaking to you.
Wrong one.
Oh, well, again, can you raise them up, please?
Why not? I need to test my abilities anyway. So
Cool.
I can look around, see whatever corpses are around, and I can summon 7 at this time.
Ooh. Okay,
So all of a sudden he conjures up a spell book. We'll go into that in a moment. So he conjures it up, whispers something, and 7 undead just appear from the ground. There, do what you want with it and leave me alone.
Okay, that's not creepy or anything. Love that. Thank you.
Fuck off.
I mean, she kind of ignores that, and she's just like going ahead and warming up her arms a little bit with her
His back is
she,
turned. His back is turned.
she's just not even giving a shit right now about that.
So-
she's like, ooh, things to practice on.
Sezra, you fucking pull out your axes, you do that weird like dual axe swing thing, just kind of get your shoulders loose and loosey goosey, fucking load them up, get your arms loaded, ready to go. With your first swing on your right hand, you kind of look over just for whatever reason, because normally your eye's on target, but like in the corner of your eye, you kind of look, and it's like you're looking at that mirror image of that gigantic fucking Leonin arm, with a flaming sword, like slice clean.
When did I get so jacked?
But the thing is, like, you see it for a second, like, it kind of crosses your plane of view where you'd see it normally, and then, like, disappears. It's your normal arm, and you shing, cut through him like fucking butter. You do the same thing with the left hand, you know, you, like, kind of jump up and, like, come down on, like, one of your, basically, like, a fucking Elden Ring boss or some shit. You come down with, like, a stomp and the fucking swing, both to, like, kind of get him or whatever, and, like, at the same time, when you land, you take your right hand, you take the axe in the right hand to cut at the guy to your left. You're just becoming like a flurry. Like, before you know it, you feel like you are just a fucking whirlwind. And right when you're about to hit that nirvana state, that perfect flow, you hear a boom, and that breaks your concentration. When the axe on your right hand falls out, you roll out of the way to like escape it or anything from like hitting you, but it clatters to the floor. And there's like 2 or 3 of the Richet that are kind of remaining, and they like look to the explosion too. But yeah.
Oh, they the undead Richard?
Yeah, the undead. They're literally just there to be your fucking dummies. So they just kind of like look to at the explosion.
Unless I openly tell them to attack you, they're just gonna stand
They'll
there.
just stand there, yeah.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
You didn't tell me to do anything. I was just like there.
Okay. So she takes the corpse slayer and she kind of like go ahead and cleanly slices their heads off, just kind of end the spell real quick.
Yeah, okay. You fucking, in one slice, you pick up the corpse slayer is the one that was in your right hand. The new axe is in your left. You pick up the corpse slayer and you just swing clean straight across. All 3 heads roll beautifully. It was like not even cutting through like fucking air, man. Like it felt like the gods themselves were pushing your blade along to, you know, kind of make this quick.
And she goes and like calmly, except irritatedly, she puts the blades back and calmly and irritatedly walks to the explosion site.
Exactly. Right. You walk to the explosion site. You see that like from a distance, you see that one like Richet like undead soldier just kind of standing there barely with like a bunch of holes in him and shit. And you're kind of like, damn, I wish mine was that durable. You see you see kind of like a smoke like rise from what looks to be like where like you see like 2 itty bitty legs. They're very far out, so it's hard to see, but they definitely look like they were like bird legs or something. And you see Kretch standing there looking pretty damn proud of himself. The cannon thing looks to have like metal wrapped around it now. And it was also angled to point not just straight up, but at a target.
You see her, and she kind of puts her hands on her hips, and she pops it out, and she gives him the cocked eyebrow look, and she's like, "Why?"
That's luck.
It's what?
That's luck. That's why.
That's luck.
He said, "Cause look."
Look.
Yeah, no, I see that.
Look.
I also see where
Look.
you had. I'm looking.
Okay, then you see.
The destruction, and also like the
that's why.
the food resources that you just destroyed. There's nothing like viable from those 2 itty bitty bird legs. We could have ate those.
Not my problem issue.
It is. It's what you eat.
No, I just need my Baja Blast Mountain Dew.
I won't
Sponsored
sell
by the
out to corporations.
Sponsored by the Pepsi Cola Company. Drink it because it's all we have.
She just kind of like, there's just like a little thing in her head that just goes and like pings.
A little vein.
It's the vein, but it's also like a little bit of a reset. And she's like, she looks around to see if anything else is on fire.
There is like nothing that is not already like being just put out just by like the wind. Basically, it's all good. This one was much more focused than the last blast.
You're buying dinner tonight. I'm just saying.
With what money?
Figure it out. Apparently, you're very good, and also have it in good with the people over there in the commissary.
Okay, I'm gonna put wheels on this.
Do you need help with that?
Can you find me wheels?
She rolls her eyes and she goes to look for some wheels.
Hey!
So you all, well, Rollo, were you about to say something?
Oh no,
Okay.
I was gonna say he's gonna go help look for wheels.
Yeah, so Rollo and Sezra go to look for wheels while Kretch goes and sweet talks the commissary and gets 4 Mountain Dew Baja Blast, 2 for himself, 1 for everybody else, and that's gonna be dinner from Kretch.
Sezra comes back to it and she looks at it and she's like, "Okay,
Before you like can really complain, you see Kretch like down the first one, and like you see his arm start to vibrate like super quickly. When he sips on the second one, the second it touches his lips, it's like everything stops moving. And the next thing you know, the glass is like it's down and he's like up with his staff in both hands. And then you just see him out with one leg, just running as fast as your fucking brain can process.
She looks at Rollo and she's like, I think we may have a problem on our hands."
You're muted, Rollo.
Well, good job. All right, it says rules. So I think at this point we just gotta let him be, do his own thing.
I'm sorry, you're gonna let the pyromaniac rat who just had way too much to drink, eat, whatever the hell's in this stuff, who just literally glitched across our eyeballs, do his own thing.
Yeah, I can heal. I can heal whatever happens.
Okay, can you
Take a fucking inspiration for that one. Oh my god, Rollo.
I can fix
heal.
him.
I can fix that.
I can fix him.
Yeah, right? Like, Rollo's fucking like, whatever, man. This is fucking whatever.
I can fix it. Every girl's
Yes, every girl's
station.
famous
I
fucking
can
last
fix
words.
him.
I
It
can,
is
I can fix him.
hold up. I need to take a shot because I have said those words. Hold up.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Rollo's sipping on the Baja Blast too.
Rollo's just
my gosh.
enjoying it.
Oh, wait a minute. This
Yep,
is the
it's
first
just-
time Sezra will have tried Baja Blast.
Oh, yeah, Sezra, roll me a Constitution.
Oh no.
That's funny.
Okay, so +4. Fuck. It's a 2 +4. It's a 6.
So with a 6, it touches your lips, and it's like all of the caffeine you've never drank in your entire life hits your bloodstream immediately. You fucking take a sip, you're like, that's really fucking good. And then next thing you know, it's down, and you are up. You are wired. You fucking, like, Rollo's sitting there sipping it like a normal fucking day, and he's just like, because you're like, it's like all at
Still
once, like you fucking, in your mind, it's slow motion, like you standing up, looking at Rollo going, you tasty, and then looking away and running to like go do something else. It's like instantaneous for Rollo. Like all at once, you down it, it gets down, she's up, you hear, that's tasty, and then just run away. Just gone.
Oh shit.
And like Rollo, you're just like sitting there, just completely stunned with the drink in your hand, and you're just like,
What happened?
Just okay.
yeah, just another day at the office. Fuck it. With these fucking weirdos.
He he looks into the camera.
Well, that happened.
Oh my gosh.
Cut
Just
to,
runs
cut
like
to
Quicksilver.
Rollo in the interview.
It's gonna look. Kretch is probably not the only one who's gonna need healing.
Yeah, exactly. That's it right there.
She
Oh
goes
my
in,
god.
she does her workout routine even more intensified. She's like, I feel like I can go harder. I think I can go faster. I think I can go longer.
This is what happens. All right, so you fucking leave. You go, oh, gotta get the wheels. Gotta get the wheels. You pick up the wheels. Before you know it, they're wherever Kretch is, and Kretch is just sitting there glitching out. You just see him like with like a random piece like in his hand, and then it's down, and then there's something else in the other hand, and then there's things in two hands. It's fucking weird. You're not thinking about it. Your brain can't process it. You see like glimpses of him moving, but not really. You think you do. And like, you know, you just drop the wheels. Before you know it, they're on there. And he's already like aiming that shit, making sure it's rolling and shit, doing like small blasts to like make it like recoil and see the recoil, check the recoil. You see him do this for like a solid like it's like 2-3 frames in your mind, and then he's back at it again.
She copies him when he does this, by the way. She's just like watching and just copies, and then okay.
Hamina.
Yeah, exactly. Just fucking just random crazy motions. And then before you know it,
All I can picture is when he was putting on the wheels. It's just like a NASCAR.
yeah, he's like just like
Cars.
Yeah.
just fucking wild. And so you, before you know it, you start like your routine and you're really into it. It's late at night, and then all of a sudden you're taking a swing at the like with your axe, and then like all of the weight of it's like 12 o'clock. You've been up since like 6 or 7, dude. You're fucking tired. Hits you. You connect with the thing, and you fall asleep standing up. You have like one axe to support you. Your axe is stuck in like the tree, and you're just fucking just conked. Sugar crash immediately. Yeah. The biggest sugar crash of your life. And you dream again.
Oh god.
You come back to where you were looking at the elf standing beside you with the frozen sword. You both nod your head. And then you are leaping at this big beast. It's a blur of combat. It's really like fast, intense. You feel every single strike, every parry that you make, every blow that you take, everything. You feel it. But before long, yes, he will be watching you. Trust me, he's watching you. It finishes with Sezra. You do like a lunge up into like the beast's throat. And the person who is behind you, you feel somebody step off your back and plunge into the head. An eruption of fire comes up, ice goes down, it meets in the middle, and just steam explodes their fucking skull. Fucking land, pull the sword out, let's go fucking kill some more. Lots of demon slaying. You make it to what looks to be a...
these are demons? Okay.
I let it slip, sorry.
Okay,
you learn it the next day anyway. So it's fine. So you make it to what looks to be like a pedestal with like a water. It's like it was a waterfall at one point. You kind of feel in the back of your head, but now it's like a river. It's like blood just streaming. There is what looks to be a statue, but it turns to face you, and you and your companion, and you kind of fade out and wake up on your axe or whatever, as like a bird kind of lands on you and pecks at you to wake you up.
Oh shit. Okay. So I don't think I should have one of those ever again. That was worse than any ale I have ever like completely downed. Oh, ale is. I'm just gonna stick to ale. Oh my god, or cider.
So
or beer.
So as
shit,
you
I'll drink beer before I drink that shit again.
As you kind of like come out of it or whatever, you free your axe. You start to like get yourself warm again. You feel a little iffy. Can you roll me a strength at advantage?
18.
Okay, 18. So even though you were feeling kind of iffy during like after waking up, once you got those axes in your hand, you got a couple swings, everything felt good again. You think back to that weird like really cool lunge move that you saw last night, and you thought like, well, how could I incorporate that in my axes? Well, I can't do a stab, but maybe like a cut, like a cross. And so you kind of get yourself set up, you dig in, and then you visualize in your head the exact like way that it felt last night in your dream when you kind of coiled up. You feel like your tail against the ground and how it felt. Your legs, everything, every individual muscle is screaming, and then you leap. You've never bounded faster in your life. You like a bullet out of a gun, just cuts a fucking tree in half with your two goddamn big axes, like an anime character.
Yeah.
Or like a modded Skyrim character, honestly. Either way. But yeah, so you You feel a lot stronger. Go ahead and
Demon
take
Slayer, but with axes.
exactly.
Yeah.
You can take an inspiration, and just as you kind of again, you've hit that. Now you've felt that peak. You felt that just the sway with the axes. You hear an explosion. It doesn't distract you out of the sway, but you're like, okay, I gotta see, what happened. You put your axes back, run up. You see that the hole that Kretch has made, and for whatever reason, something in the back of your mind kind of clicks. Something has kind of, since you arrived, it hasn't felt like you don't belong here. Sure, it took a little while to like get the language or whatever, but something about walking on this soil felt more like home than home ever did. You cross the threshold of the first broken castle wall. You open up a book, and what do you see but your first language staring back at you? Old, a little bit kind of wonky, like definitely like way more formal than anything you guys speak now. But Leonin is looking at you. This is an ancient Leonin that hasn't been around since, like the oldest text.
The only ones who have studied this has been like royalty,
Yeah,
or nobility.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, what she is.
Mm-hmm.
So any common Leonin walks up and saw this, they wouldn't know what they were seeing. They would say, "Oh, this looks familiar, but I can't read it. It's like in cursive or some shit." But no, she reads it perfectly.
So as you are like reading these, you start to get a sense that the name Dawn Pride is not necessarily referring to your entire clan. Sure, you call yourselves the Dawn Prides, but what you discover through your reading and through your interpretation of these, tapestries on the walls is that it wasn't just, like you are not just Sezra of the Dawn Pride. The Dawn Pride existed. There was such a being known as the Dawn's Pride. As you read further, you see that this being is tied to Lythander. And not only do you see that this being is tied to Lythander, trying to basically, you realize that not only is this Leonin of Leonia the Dawn's Pride, you realize that her name is Reza. Reza the Dawn's Pride. Reza, yes. And one big thing, that common connection of the sun that you read, is that Reza is the reason why she's called the Dawn's Pride. The reason why the sun is always behind her is because she was one of the avatars of Lythander. What you also read is that during the time of those dreams that you were having, this was a very short period wherein Lythander had been split into two beings. And so it's still Lythander, but it's two separate Lythanders, a bestial Lythander and a human Lythander, a man Lythander, we can call him. Reza was the champion of the man Lythander.
The humans?
Yes.
Filthy Yumis.
Shame, 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 shame.
What? Another thing you realize is that the
Okay.
famous ballad in Leonin culture called Leonin's Last Stand. What you realize as you read through the stories, you read through the tapestries, you get to the end where Kretch is kind of sitting there, kind of taking it all in his own way. You realize that when they spoke the words, "She fought man, gods, and the world itself, yet still Leonia fell," that's not the Leonian race. That is this single Leonian, the Dawn's Pride.
Okay, so cats don't cry, but you see some glistening in her eyes, and you also see like she has your thumb claw in her mouth, and she's like chewing at it furiously, and she's like, "I think I may need to take like a moment because there's some shit here that holy shit, we were totally wrong about our history, and I need to go right to Mother. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna go look at this big hole that I just punched in the wall.
Is
You
he just
see-
standing there like this, looking at it?
Yeah.
Gretch's
Hey.
Gretch's
You see her
interpretation.
get,
Go ahead.
you see her get like kind of like antsy. She's like jittery, and not from anything that she's drank. She's just like, oh my god, everything has changed. Like this changes like every fucking thing.
So she's about to like
She
take
has
off
so
to
many
go
questions.
sort some stuff out. Huh?
No, she just starts taking off, and then she comes back, and she's like, she sits there, and she's like, "Have I ever told you guys how my people supposedly learn common?"
No, I ain't none. You done told me nothing.
No.
No, okay, yeah, I guess not. It's a fairly common story amongst our peoples. So, like back in the day, it was told that like there was tales of a great being who came into the plains, and she was someone who was like a spokesperson for some other species. It's kind of unknown, but she was fairly golden, like radiant. She was honestly, everybody said she was absolutely gorgeous in her own way. Um, and so like we all had questions about how she could speak our language because she was just like she knew Leonin. There was a little bit of a language barrier, just a smidge, but like she picked up on everything that we were speaking at that point in that time, and so she took took most of our highest scholars and taught us all the language, which was obviously it was passed down. Um, when asked like how she could pick up Leonin, because honestly, Leonin's kind of a hard language to learn if you're not like born with the right palate, and she's like, oh, like what? It's hard. um, and they called her LA of the woods, and nobody really knew how she knew parts of the old, uh, like how she knew Leonin. But this might fucking explain it.
This
This is ancient. This is absolutely ancient. I have so many more questions.
So, Sezra, as you're like going around and exploring everything, we'll say that everybody else who hears the explosion and also kind of catches up and correlates. So go ahead and mull over all these realizations, and we will cut to our next, well, I'd say victim, but nothing bad is happening. Kirioth.
I like that for some reason. That's funny.
Great name, actually.
Kirioth go fucking crazy.
I'm thinking
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, right. I see what you're doing.
That's
So the first day before I would go help Kretch, because when we ended last time, I was still Kirioth, right? We didn't do the switchback, right?
Yes, yeah, we ended and it was still
Okay.
Kirioth in the driver's seat.
So Kirioth is probably that first day. He's gonna realize, okay, I have a little bit more time than last time. He doesn't feel as strong as the pool, because Scyzoth gave up control.
Yeah.
So he's firmly in the seat right now. So what he would probably be doing is meditating the first day to ponder upon how much power does he have left.
Okay. All right.
Because is he even able to do what he used to do in Scyzoth's body?
Okay. So
as he has the control. So he would be meditating, but he would also be trying to find a book. And if I do find a book, I'll go into it more.
okay.
Just any book.
Yeah. So the search for a book didn't take long. There were like some empty manuscripts just kind of laying around. When you kind of picked up the book, there might have been like a ritual that was like, "Hey, wait a minute," but then they were like, "Ah, fuck it, I don't care."
Before they even say that, I'm just gonna go, I'm taking this, and I'm walking off.
Whatever, man. Sure, have it. But he, you find the book, no problem. As you're meditating and you're kind of like thinking about, what you're gonna do, you feel Scyzoth leering over you. Kind of. So what are you doing?
You see, your magic is completely different to mine. As I pour all my necrotic energy into you, I have to summon mine in different ways. And as he does, he forces necrotic energy into the book,
Mhm.
And as he does, he weaves mummy wraps and whatnot upon it. And as he does, then the book shapes and twists and becomes very like scary looking. And then, as he does, he fills the spells that he's able to conjure without problem and memorize just from base memory. And he's going to create his spell book
Okay. So we'll say
because
that.
I needed that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll say that this process takes a little bit of time.
Yep.
So he's sitting there, and you're weaving it, and the entire time Scyzoth is there going, "Ha! Disgusting! Stop it! You shouldn't tamper with the dead."
Yep. He would. Scyzoth would totally be doing that
Yeah.
as
Like every spell that
Um,
gets put in that has anything to do with no, I won't do that.
how dare you use my body for this
As
despicable
well
humiliation
do that.
upon life.
Yeah.
But as Scyzoth murmurs and spits at disgust at Kirioth, nothing changes.
Yeah.
He mindlessly builds upon his spell book.
So the vitriol continues, but Kirioth don't give no fucks. And he finishes creating his book, and looks I'm sure very pleased with himself. We'll
He
say
definitely lets out a cackle and closes the book and puts it upon his head, like ready.
okay. So now does I forget does no, oh wait, that's right. Scyzoth just has his his channeler, right? Like he doesn't have like a book, right? Or does he?
He has a staff.
The staff.
Like
Yeah.
Kirioth will hold the staff just because he still needs some kind of focus
Yeah.
for his other side. But when it comes to wizardry, he still needed a spell book.
Absolutely.
So he has it, but he will use there's a way he keeps the book up.
Okay.
I flavored. So
Alright, yeah.
so the next day, when were you probably asking about test subjects, Scratch? Like what time of day you
Probably
think?
Day 2, probably middle of the day.
Okay, so Scyzoth or Kirioth, one thing Kirioth has to eat because he still thinks he has to.
Yep.
So he will probably fall asleep once he's done. He'll rest, and then next
Yeah.
morning he'll wake up, eat. First thought will probably be this: where the hell is the other fucking reptile? I haven't seen the turtle in days. And you just hear in the background, just a steady thump.
Thud.
Yeah, thud.
Yeah,
That
thud.
ain't a thumb, that's a
Thud.
thud.
Thud. So throughout the day, he'd probably just be skirting and weaving away from everyone because it's Kirioth.
Mm.
He doesn't like y'all.
Exactly. Yeah.
And even like most of the rich shit, he would mostly be probably also testing his telekinesis on people.
Yeah.
As he walked by, he would be reading people's minds just to test how far he could do it.
So as you walk by, every single time that you read a mind, you hear two voices essentially. You hear the Richard's voice going, "Man, I love my wife. It's such a beautiful day." And then you also hear, "Yes, of course, but you must not forget you have, things to do at 12 and blah blah blah." And every single Richard that you like kind of telekinesis inside.
I have you can hear both them and the hive mind.
And you can hear the Queen Mother like giving them instruction individually. And so you as you're doing that, the Queen Mother eventually takes notice and she tries to form a direct connection. It's up to you if you want to accept it. It doesn't feel like malicious or anything.
So Kirioth would not accept.
Okay, so it kind of bounces off, and the next one that you do telekinesis on, she starts speaking through him to you and goes, "I know you're prying. I can feel you. Look,
And if I am,
well, just don't tell them to do things. That's my job."
wouldn't dream of it.
Good, because if you do, you won't be welcome here again.
Oh, and I felt welcomed as it was.
You shouldn't be. I've heard stories about you.
Oh, my reputation precedes me.
Very
Good to
much
know.
so.
I'll be seeing you soon, hun.
Ew. Oh shit.
He means it probably in a different way than
Oh no,
Aku,
definitely
but-
different than Aku, but yeah, so
So as he's probably walking through and having that mental like "fuck you, no fuck you,"
exactly.
he hears Cratch being like, "I need test subjects." He's like, "Oh, perfect." The reason why he interrupted is he needed to test out his spellbook.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay.
Cratch, yes, annoying, disturbing, or not Cratch, he's meaner than that. You, disturbing mammal. And he taps you on the head. You need bodies?
Yes.
Where do you want them?
Over there.
We walk to it, and he takes a deep breath, and he casts a 5th level Animate the Dead.
Nice.
And,
So
so that's when all those bodies come.
Yep. So you cast it, the bodies come up, and once you cast the spell, the reason why we'll say that Kirioth exited so quickly is because Scyzoth starts to pull hard. Scyzoth goes, no, you won't do that again. Disgusting magics. And he's trying to like if you go back into the mindscape, he's grabbing Kirioth's fucking head and trying to pull him down to pull his way back up. Yeah.
No, enjoy that, and he walks off.
So we'll say that,
and so then we get into Sezra needs some too.
Yeah, right. And so you're walking back, you're having your thing, you're pit pack back and forth with fucking Scyzoth. He's being annoying as shit. He's trying to make you slap yourself, and you're stopping, and you're like, no, I'm not stupid.
I don't even. I guess I didn't even notice that.
No, you probably did, but it's normal.
It's just another day at the office. It's another Tuesday. What can you fucking say? Yeah, exactly. Literally back and forth like you're a fucking schizo.
No.
And Sezra, so you ask your request. Hey, bodies.
Yeah.
And because he's a petty, gladly. And 6th level casts the whole even stronger spell this time.
Oh my.
So once
enjoy.
As you stumble away, that's when Scyzoth yanks you down and basically takes control again.
Fuck you.
That was a fun time. God, I can't wait to do more. You know you're gonna need me, right?
He doesn't say anything to that.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. You'll learn later. It kind of slides back. I'm not gonna lie, I love that. That sequence is great. That was a lot of fun.
What, going back from Kirioth and Scyzoth?
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, it's gonna be hard to do this.
No, it's gonna be really fucking. It's gonna be a lot of mental. It might be
Not
something.
only am I gonna have to be doing this, Kirioth is a multi-class.
Yeah.
Sorcerer and a wizard.
We built this shit up. We built this shit hard.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I do need him on the 3rd day though. I do have something planned.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we'll say that at night, you, Scyzoth and Kirioth are still bickering back and forth. Sometimes you'll hear an interjection from the Queen Mother saying, she'll say something like, "I hate that fucking fucker," just shit like that. Just not being
Talking about Kirioth.
Yeah, talking about Kirioth. Just
Yeah,
and she'll sometimes, he killed people, right? And then just kind of fade in the back. I know that applies to you, but it doubly applies to him, okay?
I'm having my own conversation, butt out.
Whatever. She leaves.
She took a page out of Sezra's.
Yeah, she did. Well, she's been listening to your mind too, and it's just kind of it's grown on her a little bit.
Anyway, but during the 2nd night, I do want a conversation between Scyzoth and Kirioth.
Absolutely.
There needs to be a new deal.
Okay. Yeah. No. So we'll say that kind of like a callback to one of the first times when you called upon Kirioth, or one of the first times we visualized him. We visualized him as a snake wrapped around a giant pyramid, right? Like a snake god.
Like a quaddle, kind of.
Yeah, like a quaddle, wrapped around the building, wrapped around the golden pyramid. So we'll say it's kind of like that. You approach again. This time, you're in your form of dread as you approach. So you're looking very menacing yourself, not to his size, but he kind of goes, "So the ant has grown wings, huh? What do you want? It's not time for me yet to come back."
Nice for him. Is this what you projected yourself as?
This is how the world saw me.
Well, you're but nothing but a myth. But we do have something to come up with.
Well, spit it out. I know what's on your mind.
We need a deal. a better one. If you're going to inhabit my body, we need to somehow come to some form of an agreement.
Agreement? Okay.
Beyond what we already have.
I liked our original terms, but I guess I can acquiesce.
If you want to come into the real world, I need to have some kind of guarantee.
He sits for a second as his like big coatl form and goes, "We'll talk." And like the snake starts to come down, and as it like touches the ground, it turns into like his more like normal regal self. And you also fall out of your form of dread into your more normal self. If you look at yourself, you're not wearing the same clothes that you would expect. They look like a little bit more ancient, more like Kirioth's clothes. But other than that, you're back to kind of like a normal thing. Now you're in my kingdom. You'll dress the way we want. Good.
This is the nicest thing I think I've ever worn.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
if you will indulge me, great sun god.
oh, pleasantries already. He summons like a cup and sits back. Go on.
Yes. If you're going to inhabit my body, I only request you don't hurt my adventuring party.
He takes a deep sip. He puts it down. It disappears.
The rule is, as long as they fall of no harm, I will continue to do your bidding. But they call the harm, the body ceases to exist.
So as long as I don't hurt him myself, huh?
In any way, shape, or form that you come up with a way to either hurt them, harm them, or kill them through your doings. Yes.
Covering your bases, I see. Well, I kind of liked that turtle. He's all right. The rest of them I can take or leave, but well, they all seem to be okay.
You may take the body when needed, but that is my terms.
He kind of like unlounges himself. He was like kind of lounging in the air a little bit. He kind of like stands up, outstretches his hand. Deal. You feel the grip. It like ensnares you. The snake encircles your arm, and then before you know it, you have like the Quetzalcoatl like looking at you, and he goes, "This is the beginning of an even more beautiful friendship." And then, kind of out of it, back to the third day. You now have the ability with this new pact to kind of swap between as you please. You just gotta let us know. Let me know, I suppose.
So for the third day, I will begin as Scyzoth.
Okay.
Just kind of do his basic rituals that he does every day, where it's like he thanks he worships a god of death, but it's more the aspect of death as opposed to like a characterization. So he worships that. He thanks the deities above, whatever it may be, like thank you, blah blah blah, and then he says, "Have fun," and he releases it.
Okay.
And he relinquishes the power to Kirioth.
Okay, so Kirioth, while you were doing your rituals, something you noticed is that now you see like Kirioth. At first you would just hear him; he'd kind of be a voice in your head. Now he's like a Johnny Silverhand kind of lounging around.
Oh shit!
Oh,
God
God.
damn it!
Like,
That's so cool.
like he's like lounging there, like you're doing your thing, going
like
I
in,
absolutely love
like
that.
floating in the air, just kind of like taunting.
yeah, just kind of looking at you. You hear the
no.
god of death. He goes, "Yeah, okay."
God of death. And when he takes over, he goes, "Foolish.
Yeah.
I am the god of death."
You see Scyzoth sitting there staring daggers into you, going, "Okay, buddy."
So on the third day, Kirioth will go and find an area that is clear. Use both his 5th and his 6th level spells to animate as many dead as he can, and use every single one of his spell slots that is combat focused to test his powers.
Okay. Roll me
he's
Arcana
basically
with advantage.
Just going absolutely off.
Absolutely.
And that includes erupting earth, but like y'all see just flashes in the distance of just mayhem. So Arcana at advantage, you said?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's 12 plus 14, and then 16 plus 4, so 20 on that.
20 on that. So the 20 on that, you summon all of these dead. They're up, they're shambling, ready to be fucking taken out, and you kind of gather yourself. and you think back to that moment, Kirioth, when you were stabbed in the chest by someone that was close to you. And it's like all of the fucking centuries of rage and hatred that have been sitting there. For just a tiny second, you kind of uncap it. When you uncap that rage, it's like an explosion of just erupting earth, whatever you got, fucking fire bolts, I don't even know, fucking...
Firebolt, use Kretch, you see a giant magma of lava thing appear in the distance. Yeah, pretty much just every fucking spell, he is just pretty much like, I have control. What can I do?
So you're exhausting all your spell slots, right?
For the day, yeah.
The day,
I get them.
absolutely. You get them back daily, yeah.
Yeah, I get them back daily.
And so you use all of your spells. Aku, it's about this time that you have done your final punches and you've split the waterfall. You feel proud of yourself. You turn around and then you see this like lava fall. You see an explosion. You see like these like random Richet bodies go flying everywhere. And well, I don't know. What do you think?
Aku is
missiles, like everything.
Yeah, the best way to explain it is I'm not sure who's watched the most recent episode of JJK, but Aku is high as shit. He is high on his own drug right now.
Hell yeah.
If Aku walks up to me, I have something cool too.
He is just like floating like below the waterfall, just like enjoying himself. He, no offense to the rest of the party, has really enjoyed this alone time. He hasn't had it in a while, you know? So he's definitely been thoroughly enjoying himself. But he probably wouldn't go check it out.
Wait,
I mean, I'm assuming I heard other explosions from fucking Rattenheimer while I was out there.
You did hear the Rattenheimer explosion.
Yeah, so this is just a regular Tuesday.
Yeah, okay. It's just another Wednesday at the office.
Before I leave, I'm just sitting there. I have levitate, by the way. I'm just levitating, and before he leaves, he just says, "I alone above in heaven and earth am the honored one."
Oh, okay, all right. You see Kretch. You see Kretch down below who spits. Or I'm sorry, not Kretch. Scyzoth down below who spits at your feet.
Yeah, Scyzoth just stayed meditating in his like corporeal form. Just
exactly.
Hates him.
Yeah, so we'll call that you know can I guess you hear the final big explosion from the crumbling of the walls, and you know I guess you decide fuck it, I'll see what that's all about. Or if you want to, it's up to you. I guess it's up to Kirioth.
Kirioth, the final explosion from Kretch.
Yeah.
Kirioth will levitate above Kretch, like he's down here, he's above, and he's just gonna simply sit and watch what he has planned.
Ooh, okay, all right, fuck yeah. So Kirioth is sitting there watching Kretch, seeing what's going on. Sezra hears an explosion, goes in. Aku starts to make his way back after his nice alone time. Last but certainly not least, Rollo, my man. We know what you've been up to generally. We know you got your new scythe. On that first night, we know that you know Kretch went off to work more. What did you do?
So he kind of did what he could with Kretch, gave him some guidance, but he knows like it's better just to let him work. He doesn't want to be there to kind of watch over his shoulder. Let the artisan do his job. So he goes off a little bit of ways into the woods, finds a nice clearing to be able to see the stars, pulls out a dulcimer.
What?
It's an instrument.
It's like an instrument to like read the stars.
Yeah. Well, no. It's an actual like instrument. Like it's kind of like
the dulcimer. Oh yeah. It's like the
a dulcimer. There you go. So he sits there and sits up at the stars and just kind of plays this, and he kind of is reading the constellation.
Okay,
doing a little bit of
roll me faith at advantage.
Faith?
Or sorry, not faith. Religion, I guess.
Yeah, it works too. Okay, let's see.
I don't think faith is a stat, unfortunately. I was thinking in Dark Souls terms.
Holy magic.
16.
Nerd.
I know.
Right.
16.
Who the fuck plays that?
Fucking nerds, that's who. So with a 16, you're sitting there, you're playing the dulcet, you're looking up at the stars, you're trying to interpret visions, and what you do see is you see the great rabbit that hops the stars, kind of almost like like you obviously, his whole thing is hopping the stars. So while you're sitting there playing and the music is swirling and you're watching the stars, he's hopping over um everything. He's hopping over the different constellations. He gets to the cosmic turtle, they high five, and then he hops over him. Um and so it's a very calming night. You feel a wave of inspiration. Oh, by the way, Scyzoth, if you didn't already have inspiration, you have inspiration. Same with Kirioth.
I already had.
Basically,
Oh,
everybody should have inspiration by the end of this. So if you don't have it, put it on. And so you finish out the night. You finish playing, and you feel a lot more calm. You feel like the stars are telling you that this is where you need to be. Everything you're doing is correct. We know what kind of happens on the second day. Is there a part where you split off? I don't think so.
Yeah, well, like I think because we kind of just left it after he was like, do you need help, Kretch? And
Yeah. So like,
Scyzoth raised the dead, so like he's like, oh, I guess I don't. So he actually, I was thinking, Rollo's gonna be curious about what's going on with a coup.
oh, okay.
So what he's gonna, what I'm thinking is he's gonna wild shape. Thinking
Ooh,
I haven't
okay.
done this in a while.
Yeah.
He's gonna wild shape into an owl.
All right. Okay. So
And
yeah, go ahead.
and go look for a coup.
So we'll say that you find a coup pretty easily. You perch on one of the crumbling statues, kind of around him, and you watch him meditate, bring his hands together. The second they clap, boom, punch. His hand together, boom, punch. You start to notice at some point, because this is day 2, that he'll hit one hand, he'll come back, he'll hit the left, he'll come back and he'll hit the left again. Like he's trying to balance something out there. Yeah, so he's just doing that for a little while. You're still an owl. You can do what you want.
Aku doesn't notice the owl doing a little happy dance.
Aku is fucking zeroed in on this shit. He's got that mind muscle connection of the spring going right now, so he does not give a fuck.
Did Aku stay sober the entire time?
No, Aku was
Nice.
drinking.
No, I made sure to mention that I would gather stuff. I rolled to gather.
Yeah, you
and I
rolled
rolled like
high.
a 20.
Yeah, you rolled high for gathering, which is why you didn't have to worry about it. Sorry, we're gonna finish soon. I know we're running a little late, but I want to make sure that we got through everybody.
Yeah, so after that, he's gonna fly back to the group and pretty much stay with Kretch or Sezra.
Okay.
Like we had talked about earlier.
For the second night, you're oh wait, for the second night you
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. So you sit
Like
down.
pretty much same, yeah.
You play. Go ahead and roll me religion at advantage again.
An 11 this time.
Ooh, okay, so an 11.
Wait, advantage.
Yeah, advantage.
My bad.
Roll me one more.
12.
Okay, hey, 12. So with a 12, you are sitting back, you're praying, you're looking for the great hair again. Last night you weren't really looking and you just happened to see him. But tonight, while you're looking for him, you don't really see him. What you do see in the stars, though, is the great snake. That is not considered necessarily an ill omen, but it means that you need to use caution these next few days. Or at least that's how you interpret it. You also see, and it's something that you only started to see after you kind of spoke with the Yakmen. You see the Yakmen star, which is like a pretty bright star that has like 2 horns coming off of it. And the Yakmen star seems to be pointing towards a place you guys have been before. It's known to be a guidance star. It does not guide you ill or fair. It just guides you.
What is it? Does he know where it's guiding?
You would guess that it is guiding you back to where you guys had your first interaction with the Rakshasa.
Okay.
So, yeah, with that being said, this is probably not a star you want to follow on your own. Not yet. But it kind of is giving you an idea of what's coming next. That's always like what the Yakmen star kind of signals.
All right.
But with that, we go into the third day.
Yep. And I was thinking.
Yeah.
So with that caution that he saw with the snake, he's actually going to spend a good part of the third day trying to work with, because we got the Richet, and he's going to try to work with some of the Richet medics.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Go ahead. Sorry.
Like teach him some of the healing he's learned. Try to see if they've got anything he might learn as well. Basically, exchanging knowledge and training.
Okay. What is higher for you, medicine or survival?
Oh, they're the same. They're both +8.
Okay. Well, in which you roll whichever one you want at advantage.
All right.
Yeah.
17 is the better of the two.
17. Okay. So with a 17, what ends up happening is that while you go to the Richard Medical Camp, you end up putting on like a fucking masterclass for these guys. They're pretty good. They're pretty all right, but like the magic that you show them, the healing techniques, everything is like way beyond what they've been like kind of been doing. Because they've just kind of been in survival mode. They haven't been in thrive mode, but like you've been coming from a place that's thriving, so like you know a lot more. So you come in, you put on a masterclass. These guys are like basically like they're thanking you like profusely after this. And you have actually unknowingly increased a lot of the survival chances. Actually, you've increased the HP of all of the
Hey.
units that you'll be using for the battle that'll come tomorrow.
All right.
So we'll say that all happens, big explosion. Everybody kind of goes to see it, I guess. And we will actually have to end it there before you guys reunite, just because it went way later than expected. But rest assured, next one we're getting into combat. We're using that new system, the skirmish system. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's good to be back.
Good to be fucking
Yeah.
back. Sorry for the
It's so
wait.
good.
Holy shit. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording now. And deuces,
All
everybody.
right.
Stop the stream. Thank you,
All
everybody.
right.
who
Thanks for
showed up.
everybody coming out.
Yep.
Bye, stream.
Bye.